So it turns out that recovering from brain surgery involves a lot of social awkwardness, as a lot of people don't know what to do or say when they see me for the first time, and I completely understand. I think it's mostly that they don't know if there's been any kind of cognitive or speech or memory impairment as a result of my condition. So I don't take it personally. I do not get my feelings hurt if someone sees me out in public and they miss the mark socially. I also know people are very well intentioned. They're not meaning anything insensitive. But as I've seen people's various reactions, I think I've broken it down and found the thing that results in the least amount of awkwardness. And the social interaction I'm talking about is when you are out in public and you just have a chance social meeting with that person. It is neither the time nor the place to have any kind of deep or dark conversation. That is best saved for another kind of situation. So I will break down the various reactions, the ones I think miss the mark, and then the one formula I found that I think really works. So when you see somebody out in public for the first time and they've been through something, you have a decision to make, whether you're going to acknowledge that you see that person or not. This seems so obvious, and yet I have had people where I see the eyes flare, and then they avoid my gaze, and then they avoid completely where I am. If you recognize this in yourself, and you're saying to yourself, I'm sure that they didn't see that I saw them. They absolutely saw. And here's why it matters. Recovering from brain surgery is very isolating. I'm 5 weeks out, and still most of my day is spent resting at home. If I'm lucky, I have 1 or 2 hours a day where I feel up to and am able to go out in public. And that's my reminder that I'm still part of the world, and nobody wants to feel ignored or be invisible. So if you ignore that you see me, that person's making me invisible. And again, I really try not to take that personally, but of all the choices to make, that's the one I think you want to avoid. So from there, your next decision is whether you're going to acknowledge that that person's been through something or not. I am always so relieved when I know people know. And that doesn't need to be something deep or dark. It can be something as simple as, I'm so happy to see you out and about, or you look amazing, which is a lie, but it's a sweet lie and I will take it. Even something like, I heard what you are going through and I'm just so sorry. Any version of any of those is great. It's relieving to me because it means I don't have to be searching your face while we're talking for signs that you know. Sometimes I can spot this because the eyes are a little bit more fixed on me than they normally would be. The voice is a little more excited to see me than it normally would be. But if I don't see that in your face, I'm wondering if I need to say something, and I'm wondering if you know. Because I'm aware that I'm not presenting as 100% myself and that you're picking up on that, and I need to know if you know that or not, which takes the conversation to a place that neither one of us wanted to go. How are you? It's been so long. I just had brain surgery. So say something, and then greet as you normally would greet. And that's it. It's at this point where I think a lot of people feel like there's a void that needs to be filled, either with like some word of wisdom or some sort of narrative that shows that you relate in some way to something that I'm going through. Sometimes it's a question that in another situation I'd be fine to answer, but in a chance passing, it's just more difficult. Things like, how are your children doing this? With this? How is this like for you? What causes this? If you're wanting some sort of deeper conversation with that person or a more meaningful visit, by all means, follow up afterwards. It was really great to see you in passing today. If you're up for visits, I would love to come see you. That's always really welcomed. But there is no void to be filled at that point in the conversation. The closing that seems most common is, if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. Which is at its core very sweet. I don't know where I would be if it wasn't for the help of other people, and the ways that people helped in large ways and small was an absolute godsend. And I really learned to say yes with the hope that someday I can pay it forward. But sometimes I'm aware that it is really just a conversation closer. And I think that's why, and maybe this is just me, but that's why I'm not comfortable following up on that kind of offer. So the chance of me following up when someone says, if there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. The chance of me following up and saying, as a matter of fact, I need to go to the grocery store and I can't carry my bags in the house, or I need a ride to an appointment next week. The chance of me following up is 0. So what does move the ball forward is if that person follows up with an email, a text, or a phone call saying, I really meant it when I said I would like to help. And then if they can add some little thing that they've thought of that might be helpful to me, people have been surprising and creative and wonderful. So in short, acknowledge that they've been through something in some way so that they know that you know, and they don't have to tell you. Greet as you normally would, and then if you'd like to see that person for a more meaningful visit or to offer to help, follow up with an email, a text, or a phone call. That is it. Easy, not awkward to anyone. I hope that's helpful to you. I know that once I broke that code, it made things a lot smoother for me socially. Thanks for watching.